Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. So last week we finished the story of Moosa alayhi salam until he was born and taken care of by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in such a beautiful manner that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only saved his life, but he still was with his mother, nursing from her, and but growing up in the house of Fir'aun. And in that manner, what happened is he was able to get the best education and training and acquire the leadership skills. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us something more about him. That when he matured to his potential, when walamma balaga ashuddha, when he matured to his full potential and became fully grown, wastawa, atainahu hukman wa ilma, that we granted him wisdom and knowledge. So it means that although he was being brought up in the house of Fir'aun, children usually learn whatever their family believes in and practices. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had told us earlier that Moosa alayhi salam was brought up specially under care of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And actually we discussed that all messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are from birth onwards under the special care and protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so they only get what is right from Islamic perspective. And they are specially brought up for that purpose, although they don't know it. They know only once the first revelation comes to them, then they find out, oh, Allah has appointed us messengers. But before that, they don't know. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing them up from their childhood for that purpose. So Moosa alayhi salam was being trained under the guidance and the watch of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he not only acquired all the skills which were taught to the princes of Fir'aun, but also he got the proper knowledge, proper understanding of the deen of Islam as well. So you'll see at every step of the way, he always refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whenever there is something, if there is a mistake, he seeks forgiveness. If he needs help, he calls Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. So he had a very clear Islamic perspective and Islamic knowledge. And that's what Allah says, that we granted him wisdom and knowledge. So then Allah mentions an incident. The style of Quran is very concise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leaves a lot of details out of the story which people can just understand on their own. So for example, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't mention that how he was doing in the meantime, but mentioned a particular incident in his life when he entered the city at a time when his people were lax. They were resting. There was hardly anybody outside. So what do you mean by he entered in the city? So what happened is that the Fir'aun and the princes, and they had their palaces outside, and there was a city where some Egyptian and especially all Israelites, Bani Israel, were concentrated there. So when Moosa alayhi salam was growing up, he realized, even from his name, he would have known that he is not born in the house of Fir'aun, because he was taken out of water. Moosa, taken out of water. So he knew that he belongs to Israelites. So although he had all those upbringing of the Fir'aun, but he was sympathizing with Israelites. He was seeing their plight, and he felt that a lot of injustice is being done to them. They are being persecuted. So he would go from his princely residence, he will go once in and check out how the things are going in the city. So that's what Allah means, that one day he entered the city at a time when his people were lax, they were relaxing, and there he found two men fighting. One from his own ethnic community, means Israelites, and the other from his foes, means the Egyptians. So now the man from his community called him for help. It means that Israelites knew, Bani Israel knew that Moosa A.S. has sympathy for them. Moosa A.S. is sympathetic to them, he helps them, he supports them. So that's why when he saw him, he called him for help. So Moosa A.S. tried to, they were fighting, and Moosa A.S. tried to take them apart, but the Egyptian misbehaved and Moosa A.S. punched him. But you know, he was a strong man, and perhaps the Egyptian was very old man. His punch landed in such a manner that the person died right there. Although Moosa A.S. had no intention of killing him, and it was just an accident. He was just separating them, and he would not listen, and he just punched him, and he died. So you can imagine, in this case, immediately he didn't justify. He didn't try to justify what he was doing. He says, "Hada min amali shaitan." This is a action of shaitan. He immediately realized that a big sin has happened. Nobody has right to take anybody's life without any reason which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed. So that's why he said, this is a work of the devil, and he is manifestly misleading enemy. Now immediately he sought Allah's forgiveness. He says, Qala Rabbi inni zalamtu nafsi faghfir li faghfara lah. So he prayed, my Lord. You can imagine that immediately he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he had the proper Muslim mindset. That he said, my Lord, I have indeed wronged myself, so forgive me. Then Allah forgave him. Certainly he is most forgiving and most merciful. You know, the word ghafara, is used for forgiveness, but it's also used for covering up. You know, the reason it's used for forgiveness is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he forgives, he covers up the sins of the person. So it means also covering up. So in this case, it also may mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only forgave him, but also covered up his mistakes, so nobody knows he has done this inadvertently. But anyway, he was appreciative of Allah's forgiveness, and he made a commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, Rabbi bima an'amta alay falan akuna dhahiran lil mujrimin. That my Lord, since you have bestowed a favor upon me, I will never be a supporter of the criminals. You can imagine how it was thinking was, that he says that his power, his capabilities, they should never be used in a manner that somebody unjust, somebody doing wrong is helped by his abilities and by his power, by his thing. So he made a commitment that his capabilities, his power, his strength, his resources will be used only for the right cause, for the purpose which Allah allows, and he will never become an instrument of injustice or corruption or anything wrong. This is a very important lesson for all of us to learn, that we should have the similar attitude and similar commitment, that our capabilities, our resources, our energies, our abilities are never used in support of anything which is un-Islamic or illegal or bad from Islamic perspective. So now you can say that because he was not following the religion of the Pharaoh, he was practicing Islam, he was sympathetic to Bani Israel. So obviously, at this age, now the household of Pharaoh will be very upset that what is this going on? Although there will be some sympathizer for him as well, but mostly those people in power, the establishment, they were very much concerned that what, instead of they were expecting him to be like Pharaoh's, but he was practicing Muslim. So they were quite concerned about it. So now he was scared that if his mistake is discovered, what will happen? So next time when he went there, he went very carefully, looking about vigilantly that nobody notices him or how people are reacting. Is it already known what happened? And when he goes there, he finds, can you bring some water? He finds the same person fighting with another Egyptian. And this time, again he calls Moosa AS for help. So Moosa AS rebuked him that you are the source of evil, you are fighting with everybody. So now he was scared that perhaps Moosa is going to hit him. Although he was going to separate them and help him, he was so bad in his attitude. He spilled the beans and he just, oh, are you going to kill me like you killed the person yesterday? So he actually made it known to public. So when this news spread, immediately the Pharaoh's household and their court, their establishment made a decision that he should be killed. Because now they are worried that, oh, maybe he is the person who is going to lead Bani Israel against them and make them free people and get their freedom. So they decided immediately to kill him. Now, one of his sympathizers from the establishment rushed and informed him that this is what the decision has been made, so you should disappear from here, otherwise you will be killed. So that's when Moosa AS, just as he was, without taking anything, he just ran away. Where does he go? Because Egyptian kingdom was quite vast, so he had to find a place where he can remain hidden, and the spies of Pharaoh will not be able to locate him. So Madian was such a place, so he rushed and went to Madian, making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you can say that he made the dua. He says, Rabbi najini min al-qawmi dhalimin, that Ya Rabb, save me from these unjust wrongdoing people. And so he made dua to Allah that Allah will show him the way. And alhamdulillah, he was able to go out. He reached Madian, and when he reached Madian, he has no place to go. So what does he do? So he goes to the watering place where towards the evening, all the flocks are brought for watering, and he stood there waiting that maybe perhaps somebody will ask him, who are you, what are you doing? They may help him with something. So he's standing there wondering. Then he sees that there are two girls with their flock, and the flock is trying to force their way to the water, but they are trying to hold them back. So the male shepherds are coming, bringing their flock, watering them, taking them away, and their flock wants to come, but they are holding them back and they are not doing it. So Moosa AS said, what's this going on? So he went to them. What's the matter? Why don't you water your flocks? And they said that we cannot do it until all these male shepherds are done with, then we will take our flock there and do it. So he knew that they were also Muslim women. They didn't want to, like those other shepherds were coming and forcing their way through, and they didn't want to entangle and mix up with them. So they were standing on a side, letting them push their way through, and when they will be finished, then they will take it. But Moosa alayhi salam could not tolerate this injustice. This was not fair to that woman. So he said, okay, you bring it, I'll water your flocks. So he drew the water and gave them the water to drink, their flocks. So they were able to go home early. So he's still standing there under a tree, wondering what I'm going to find out, where would I stay? But when they went home and they told their dad what happened, because he was wondering, how did you come early today? And they explained that there was a gentleman who helped us. So he was a wise Muslim as well. So he said, okay, call him. So one of them came with haya, shy away, and said, oh, my father wants to talk to you. So when they said that we cannot go further, and they explained that our father is an old man, indicating that the reason we have to do it because we don't have any brother, we don't have any male, and our father is very old, he will not be able to do it. But now they came and they give the message. So Moosa alayhi salam went with her, met with the father of the girls, explained him his story, and he told him that, okay, you look at the wisdom and look at how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supports his people. He said, okay, you need a place to live, I need somebody to take care of my flocks, and I also have daughters who need to be married. So here is a proposal. I'll marry one of my daughters to you if you make a commitment that you will be in my employment, taking care of my flock for at least 8 years. If you do 10 years, that would be great, but at least you will do 8 years service, and on that condition, I marry my daughter to you and you can stay with us. So Moosa alayhi salam accepted the offer. You can imagine that how with one suggestion so many problems are solved. The girl got married, she had to be married, and there was no reasonable person available, but Allah provided this person. Moosa alayhi salam got a wife and a house to live and also a job to do. And so all problems were solved Islamically. Because imagine, even if they would have hired Moosa alayhi salam just to water and take care of their flock, he could not have stayed with them, because it would be un-Islamic for a stranger to stay at their home where there are two younger women. So this arrangement took care of all those issues. So you can imagine, with wisdom and with tact, all commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can be fulfilled, as well as all challenging situations can be resolved, making a situation win-win situation for everybody. So we'll stop here today, and inshallah next week we will start from when he finished his service, and with his family now he's coming back to Egypt. So we'll stop it here today, and we'll go to Kahoot.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Inshallah, so all the participating sisters who want to play the game, please feel free to come to the front so you can see the screen better. For now, the pin is on the screen. That's 342-5509. So please try to join as fast as you can. Everyone who has a phone, please participate, inshallah. We are playing for prizes today. We have 3 donations from some of the Musallin for the prizes for tonight. So it's some Arabic books, inshallah. It's hopefully beneficial for the children or even adults maybe. So this is for the top 3 winners, inshallah. So try to win We hope you're paying attention as always.
That's yours. Do some people watch? Okay, are we ready?
Okay, so if you haven't joined yet, please join shortly or as fast as you can because we want to begin. So I think we will start soon. A few people joining. Okay. Okay, bismillah, let's begin. You can always join while we already started, as always. Bottom right hand of the screen, the pin will be there. So, alhamdulillah, this is part 2 of the story of Moosa. So the first question is, what kind of person was Moosa when he grew up? What kind of person was Moosa alayhi salam when he grew up?
MashaAllah, 21 people got it right. The other 7, perhaps they didn't hear the presentation earlier. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when mentions that he was given knowledge, it meant that he understood Islamic knowledge as well. And he was practicing according to Islamic teachings which were available to Bani Israel at that time.
Jazakallah khair. So continue to move on. So this is a true or false question. So Musa's physical upbringing and leadership skills were like a person of Fir'aun's family, but his outlook was Islamic. So is this statement true or false?
Okay, so that's great. 27 people got it right. Okay, let's move forward.
Okay, so we're going to continue to move on. We got most for that right. And so the next question is, he openly used to go to the town where Israelites lived, meaning Musa alayhi salam.
Yeah. See, the words in the Holy Quran were very clear that he was going at the time when most of the people were in their homes and they were not outside, so he was quietly going there to get some information how the things are and what is happening to the people to whom he belongs. So it was quiet visits. He was not going openly there. Actually, we also find out that as a prince, he had a duty to oversee some of the work which was done by the Jewish slaves, and they knew that he is very kind to them as compared to other supervisors. So anyway, so he was performing his duties, but also he wanted to go around and find out what's going on.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, so continuing.
Yeah.
The next question. So why did the Israelite call Musa for help?
When they were fighting, why did he call for help? Okay, I thought this will be 100%. It was so clear. But anyway, maybe, so we need to understand that because of his kindness towards the Israelites, both Egyptians and Israelites had started realizing that Moosa alayhi salam is trying to be helpful to the persecuted Israelites. He wants to be just and fair to them. So that's why when he saw him, he called the please help me. So that was the situation. And that's why the Egyptians were becoming uptight about Moosa alayhi salam.
Okay.
Although he was not doing anything wrong, he was just being fair.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, so next question. So true or false? Musa intentionally killed the Egyptian for quarreling with an Israelite. Is this statement true or false?
Okay, good. 27 people got it right. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to continue to move on then. So we have 3 players on an answer streak of 3. So keep that up. So the next question is, why did he call the killing of an Egyptian an act of shaitan?
Okay. So, yeah, 4 people got it wrong because he did not punch to kill, because it was just an accident. So it was an inadvertent manner. He did not commit in that manner. So that's why it was a sinful act, because somebody got killed unjustly. That's why it was a sin.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, everyone ready to move on? So why did Musa pray to Allah for maghfirah? So why did Musa alayhi salam pray to Allah for maghfirah?
Okay, that's good. Let's keep going.
Okay. MashaAllah, good job. 3 in a row. Player Yar. So keep that up. True or false question again. So at forgiveness, Musa resolved that his power and capabilities will never be applied in support of wrongdoers. So is this statement true or false?
Excellent. That's good.
Okay, mashallah. Moving on. 3 in a row. Abdullah, back in the game. So why did the establishment want to kill Musa?
Okay, he could be the person who will lead Israelites to rebel against Egyptians. 25 people got it right. And we don't know what their law was. The thing is that they had made a decision to summarily execute him because they were scared that he will be leading them to freedom. So that's what it is. Okay.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, next question. So how did Musa alayhi salam find out of the decision of his execution?
So we are getting quite good results. A lot of people are getting right answers. So Quran tells us very clearly that a person came running, like he rushed. That Moosa, this is what's going to happen, so leave the city, leave the town. And that's what happened. Okay.
Okay, so mashallah, we have 6 players on a 7 answer streak. But the next question is, why did he choose Midian to run to? Musa alayhi salam. Why did he choose Midian?
Excellent. All right. Yeah, that's the way. Okay.
MashaAllah. Okay, so last few questions. So try to collect your points as fast as you can. So why were the girls not proceeding to draw water for their flock? So yeah, we just kind of discussed this in the end. So hopefully we get 100% as well.
Excellent. Once more. But
MashaAllah.
people number have gone down.
Yeah. Some people are not even answering anymore. MashaAllah, we have player high is back in the game, 3 in a row. So last 3 questions. So why did he help the girls provide water to their flock? Musa alayhi salam. Why did he help them provide water to their flock?
Once again, excellent.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, last 2 questions and then we will conclude the Kahoot. So, true or false question. The girls were Muslims and endowed with haya. So that is why they talked to Musa with haya and shyness. Is that statement true or false?
Okay. Maybe one percentage is wrong, didn't want to do that. So, okay.
Okay, inshallah, last question. So good luck to everyone. So it's a multi-select question. So that means there will be more than one right answer. So how is the deal among them a win-win for everyone while fully compliant with the Islamic teachings?
Okay, good. There were 2 right answers, and most of people got that. So excellent. Inshallah, next Friday, lot of interesting things will be coming when he comes back and goes to Mount Sinai. So there will be a lot of exciting things we'll be discussing next week. So let's go to the results.
Inshallah, so let's have the 3 winners which will receive some prizes today. So in 3rd place, mashallah, player Bilal with 15 out of 15. So may Allah bless you. 2nd is Hot Dog Man, as well 15 out of 15. Last but not least, in the number 1 spot is player M. So inshallah, I invite you all up here to come get your prizes for today. May Allah bless you and accept. Which player are you? Hot Dog Man. Okay, mashallah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. That's yours, inshallah. Enjoy it. I hope you also benefit from that as well, inshallah. So player M, right? Okay, number 1. That's number 1, right? There you go. This is actually especially wrapped for you as well. May Allah bless you. Lastly, your player Bilal. There you go, inshallah. May Allah bless you, Habibi. Jazakallah khair. Okay, inshallah. So inshallah, we'll have the refreshments now. So I just request you to give the volunteers a few minutes to set up. Inshallah, see you all next week.